This is a bearded dragon, and today we're feeding them their favorite snack. Before getting one of these real life dragons, it's important to know that they are omnivores. That means they eat meat and vegetables. I love them, and this is what I do daily for my beardies. The veggie of the day is peppers, as you see here, and all three of my dragons will get their share of this mouth-watering pepper. Being from the savannas, woodlands, or deserts, beardies thrive in a hot and dry environment. Water-rich foods are crucial to your beardie's hydration. Our boy Charizard here loves his peppers, and it's kind of funny to see when this guy gets fixated on something because he looked at this pepper here and he's stuck on that one. There's 20 other ones around you, dude. Like, what are you doing? But he'll end up realizing that he can't get that one and go for another one here in a second. There you go, buddy. There's more around you. Now we're going to go head down here to our boy Charmander. He is the OG. He's the original lizard. He is my only full-grown bearded dragon. And as they get older, they get a little lazy. So as you see here, I give him a pepper, and I mean, obviously he wants it. You see his eyes are locked. Goes to grab it, misses, and drops it. And I try to give him another one just to see, like, hey, who knows? Maybe he'll take another one. But of course, he is a little too lazy for that and says, just put him on the side and I'll get to him when I get to him. Finally get him to eat one on camera, so there you go, guys. And I look back up at Charizard here, and he is not a happy camper. We all know this guy is a baby bearded dragon. Baby bearded dragons, they like their veggies, but they love their crickets. Now we're on to the meat, the crickets. Now, before I deter you from getting a beardie because they eat those loud, annoying crickets, you could feed them roaches, as long as you don't drop them. Now, all jokes aside, I do crickets because I can get them for cheap at a local pet shop, and all three of my beardies can eat them. It's important to make sure that your beardie gets his calcium supply, whereas normally they get it in the wild from the, thing that gives all of us energy, the sun. Now, you could give your bearded dragon super worms once they reach the full-grown stage you see our boy Charmander is at. Charmander is at the stage of life where he's eating about 75% veggies and 25% insects. Charmeleon, our juvenile bearded dragon, is at about 50-50 ratio. Charizard, being a baby bearded dragon, is eating mostly crickets at 25% veggies, 75% insects. Seeing how I have all stages of bearded dragons, I'm not going to switch over to super worms until they can all eat them. If you give a baby or juvenile super worms, they have a hard time digesting it and can lead to other issues like impaction, and they just aren't strong enough in the gut to digest the hard exoskeleton of a super or mealworm. The big lizard is Charmander. He is basically a normal bearded dragon, maybe with some other morphs, but you can find a beardie like him at your common pet store at PetSmart or Petco. Common bearded dragons are what you see here, just kind of like a gray tan color, although their beards will turn completely black. If a bearded dragon feels threatened, their defense mechanism is to make themselves look larger by inflating their beard to display dominance. Now, this is a docile bearded dragon. I've handled him since he was a baby, had him since a baby. He knows what time it is. It's time to eat. And he is not shy when it comes to these crickets. As you can see, it looks like I'm camera shy because I was losing crickets left and right, had to move the time clock to get this cricket, it ran underneath the clock. If my lady would have seen him, she would have flipped. So, glad we got him before he got too far away. And then I look down and all of these other crickets are coming out. Gotta pick these up like I'm picking up popcorn. It's just, all hell is breaking loose inside this reptile house. Now it is time for the next evolution in my reptile journey, which was Charmeleon. Now, when it comes to Charmeleon, she is a hypo-tiger blue bar head trans bearded dragon, which to a normal pet owner might sound like a lot, but if you're crazy about ZA and exotics like me, I'll give you a breakdown. Hypo is a lighter, more vivid colored bearded dragon. In my dragon's case, it gives her a red orangish shade. The blue is referring to the blue markings on her back. Her het trans is a recessive trait. That means she carries the translucent gene but does not show it visually. For a bearded dragon like this, you'll want to go online and find the exact one you're looking for. You will never see a bearded dragon like this in PetSmart or Petco. And when you see a bearded dragon, don't let that slow bob fool you. These dragons can travel up to 9 miles per hour on land. But it's time to get Charmeleon back in her cage, and we're going to introduce you to our Red Monster Charizard. Charizard, the last evolution of Charmander. Even though he's the youngest, his gene is the most evolved. Charizard is a red monster bearded dragon, which refers to his bright red color. The red monster bearded dragon was created in Hong Kong, where they basically bred the most red lizard to the most red lizard for over 20 years, creating what we see here, the red monster. The red monster is not to be confused with a red bearded dragon that you could find at a PetSmart or a Petco. This red monster is often referred to as the most desirable bearded dragon in the entire pet hobby. And that's why we named him Charizard. Here we give these animals the love and attention they need and are hoping to start our own generation of red and blue dragons. If you're looking to get a bearded dragon, this is your sign. A bearded dragon attaches to its owners, so for the lizard's sake, I want you to know this is a lifelong commitment. They live for nearly 15 years. And if you're getting into other reptiles like my ball python, it's going for over 30 years. These aren't just a creature you can get and put on a shelf. They are very social and enjoy being handled. They love bath time. They love their owner, even if they give you some crazy side eyes. Now it's time for Charizard to go back into his enclosure. We're going to go ahead and put him up and get our next lizard out to feed. We also have Frost. Frost is my Diablo Blanco Leo. I love his all-white skin and solid black eyes. He's absolutely adorable as he eats too. I've had all my animals from babies and Frost is no different. It's better to get a baby and handle them early so you grow that bond and they're a little easier to handle as they get older. Ever since I went over to my cousin's house when I was younger and they had a huge enclosure with multiple female leopard geckos, they've been on my bucket list of lizards to get. And my boy Frost here was the best Christmas gift of the year. This little guy eats mealworms, and I put them in his bowl with some calcium and leave them in his enclosure for him to eat as he gets hungry. Now, since I do put drinks on this table and use it for other stuff, it's time to get it clean. So, we just wipe it off with some Lysol, some disinfectant, get it packed up, and Frieza, we'll get to you in the next video.